Hey everybody, what's going on? We're here with a timeless reading. Welcome. Okay, the first cards that we have are the Fool and Three of Cups. There can be somebody new that you're hanging out with, something that you're trying out socially. This can be somebody that you're connecting with. Having us start off with the Fool, it can be a new chapter, but usually it's also about doing something that feels like it's outside of our comfort zone. And then having three of Cups here, it feels like this is connected with something socially, or this can be like going somewhere that you don't normally go, something like that. But it's like in the hopes of connecting. So it's like I am taking this risk because I feel like I'm going to show up and be seen in this way. And it can also be something too that feels like an accomplishment of sorts, where you can be doing it and feel like if something goes successful, that it's going to be celebrated. Like that can also be the feeling as well, or that it's going to like connect more people, or that you're going to be able to connect, that sort of thing. But there is a level of discomfort usually with the Fool, or risk, something like that, chance even. Doing things a bit differently, it seems. You're in the process of a transition. For some of you, this is a big thing that you have going on right now. It looks like you're in the middle of it and you're like finding your way right now. You could also be in the midst of a lot of things changing and figuring out like what to focus on and when. So this can be like, before these things were important to me, now I'm figuring out that there are other things that I want to be focusing on, or other things that need my attention. But it's definitely happening in the midst of like maybe something else bigger that's going on. And you're finding your footing. It's like, what do these changes mean for me? And also, how is that changing what I'm focusing on primarily, and taking the time to reflect on that? Because it feels like not doing things in the same way that you were doing them before. Some things. So this can be like, I have new priorities now, or I have different priorities now. Okay. Something is being worked through, worked out even. I'm seeing Six of Cups and I'm seeing Temperance here, and also Four of Wands. So this looks like something from the past. This is a social revisiting that's happening. So you may be taking a chance on a connection or a relationship. This is somebody that like you knew them. This isn't a new person. But you're spending time figuring something out with them. 'Cause it seems like whatever it is that you're trying to figure out with them, where you guys may be headed is like not anywhere that you've been before with them. So even though this is not a stranger to you, it feels like this relationship is very, very different than what you had going on with them before, is what I'm seeing. And that's also why it's taking time too, because there can be that feeling of like, well, I know this person to a degree, but there can also be a feeling of, but we've never had like this type of dynamic before, like things are really changing a lot. Because it looks like a very, very big change. Like even though it's still you and this person, a lot of the ingredients are different this time around. And I'm seeing you be trying to figure out sort of like what this is developing into. And it seems like you're also paying like very, very close attention to it. But I'm getting this feeling over here by Six of Cups and Temperance. What is this? there could have been assumptions going into something of like, oh, I have history with this person, I know them. But Temperance being here feels like taking the time to sort of get to know the situation now for what it is. Because maybe you even thought that, I don't know if maybe you thought something would be easier than it is, or you thought like you wouldn't have to take as much time with something. But Temperance shows that it feels like there was maybe an expectation for something to move more quickly than it is. Temperance shows that it's important that even though there's a sense of familiarity here, you need to be very patient, sort of seeing what this is developing into and what's being established, because it's very, very, very different than what was going on before between you and this person. I'm also seeing too that it feels like this is still happening, but even just like allowing this to occur in the first place, it feels very much like a chance was taken in order to do this. And also, it feels like it still kind of feels like this. Like this is still kind of like a risk or a chance or something where it's like, okay, like I'm putting my energy into this, or like I'm putting some faith into this, or I feel like this is what I'm doing, but it may not feel like a completely sure thing with the Fool here, or it feels like it's not completely comfortable yet, more than anything. But Temperance is saying that you just need to give this time, because I'm seeing a lot of adjusting is still happening, a lot of learning, a lot of understanding, a lot of communicating. I am seeing too that like you do feel on a very basic level like seen and understood by this person. It feels like also though, because of how the nature of your relationship is different now than it was before, and it's also continuing to develop in ways that you're still like wrapping your head around, that you're meant to be patient with that too, because there can be a part of you that's like don't they know already, or don't I know already? It feels like there's almost this assumption of like I thought that I would know this by now, or I thought that we would have gotten this by now, but it's like this isn't the same thing that was happening before, so that's why this is almost like a new relationship, even though again like it's not with a stranger. You know this person, it's almost as if you don't, because it's not the same thing that's happening with them. But I feel like it's being clarified that this is somebody that you know already for like the sake of identification for who this person is. I'm seeing Sagittarius and I'm seeing Scorpio here, and also Uranus and Pluto. This can also be like Uranus and Pluto can be like unexpected changes, or like things popping up where you were like, oh, I didn't think that would be part of this. And it can also be trying to maneuver in very unfamiliar territory, even though there are some elements that are familiar. And that could have been something that maybe because of certain expectations that you had, you could be in a spot where it's just like a little bit different, because I'm seeing there be very deliberate adjusting that's happening here and sort of going with the way that things are moving. And also to have Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck, it feels like looking very, very closely at sort of like the dynamics and the harmony of things between you and this person, and what is being created and established between the two of you. Like very, very deliberate what's being established. And that's still being figured out as well. Even though it looks at this point like something has quite a foundation, it seems like there are still things that are being figured out here. You just need to be patient with this, because I'm seeing Temperance be very important. And this means that there's also like mindfulness being given to what you're prioritizing within the relationship too, and what you're choosing to focus on. Yeah, what you're choosing to bring your energy to, because that's what you're watering. And being very mindful of that. You may also be noticing more so the differences of how things have changed now versus what was going on before. You could be taking a moment, feel like you can relax a little bit here. I'm seeing 4-4. Okay, you're getting to a decision point. This is, okay, and just intuitively what I'm feeling here, it looks like your guides gave you something and they were like, open the box and see what's inside of it. And so you're like opening it up and checking it out, and it's been like taking you some time, cycle-wise, it's been taking you some time to sort of figure out what this is about. And now it feels like you've seen enough to sort of know what this is about and where things are going and all of that. And so it looks like a decision needs to be made. So something may be being asked of you of like, now that you've done all of this, do you want to continue the cycle? Like, where do you want to go? There's something about a decision point here. So it feels like before the ice was unbroken, it feels very much like the ice is broken now. And now you get to a point where it feels like you may need to come up with an answer or say something. But I feel like this is more of like a decision, and you're gonna have to communicate about like where your head's at with all of this and taking the time to figure that out. And you may have even taken a moment away to sort of reflect on this and figure out what you want to come back with. Let me see if I can clarify what this Two of Swords is about. Can be a decision having to do with, it feels like it's specifically about like what's going on between you and this person. Like now that I feel very strongly again, like with the Fool and then us ending with Two of Swords, it feels like you've gotten yourself familiar with what would be going on here if you choose. It's like this cycle that you've been given this preview of, but you didn't like officially sign on for. And now it's at that point where it's like, are you going to sign on for it or not? It's like that type of thing. There's anxiety about communicating one's feelings. It's like, just need to express yourself, but I'm getting there be worries about something. You could be feeling stuck. Maybe this is also about looking into why that is. Like, why do you feel like you don't know how to move forward with this? Because it feels like there are mental implications. Like something with the processing. It may not feel stable now, but with Temperance, things are going to stabilize. It looks like you're just being encouraged to, if you're willing, to take a leap of faith in the direction you feel is calling to you. I do feel too that regardless of what you choose, things are going to stabilize for you. So it almost feels like no matter which way you end up going with this, things are going to be stable. It just may not be feeling like that right now, but it will be. Just got to be patient. Something else that's being looked into. Okay, this wasn't something that was coming through immediately, but now I'm seeing it. Something else that's being looked into that's connected with sort of this like choice that's being made, or this thing that you're looking to gain clarity on, is that you need to look into. Remember, like earlier in the reading, how I was saying it felt like there was something energetically going on with Six of Cups and with Temperance. I'm seeing that this is linked to a bigger thing actually. Because as I said before, this feeling of like I knew them before, I knew how things were before, like what was established before, and it's all like connected with the past and your relationship with this person. But because things are changing, it's almost like this is like a new person because your dynamic is different, like how you're showing up is different. You're kind of showing up as a like new person, we'll say. They're showing up as a new person, we'll say. It's not the same thing that's going to be between you and this person. This is not like a repeat of what you already have with them. This is a very new, different thing that you would have with them. So that's why I'm seeing Six of Cups and Temperance be here, because you're basically spending time assimilating to the new ways of things. And also too, why Six of Cups is connected with the Judgment card is because you need to take the time to actually look at this and get yourself to a place where you're understanding what is the past and is no longer occurring or relevant with you and this person that you may still be holding on to that doesn't have a place here, versus how things actually are right now, currently in the present with you and this person. Because for some of you, there's something about nostalgia kind of like seeping into this connection that you have with this person. And it may be distorting your perspective of things. So that's why this is just about you having like honest self-reflection about what's going on with you and this person now as things are, and separating now from the past how things were. That doesn't mean that there's not going to be some overlap, but this is about actively acknowledging where the overlap is and also where the overlap isn't between you and this person, so you can have like an honest assessment and understanding of this. And that's what's going on here. And then you're going to be able to like have the sense of clarity that you're looking for. So that's going to clarify things for you. Okay? For whatever this is that you're trying to see or figure out or understand. Sagittarius, Scorpio, Uranus, Pluto. Okay, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I'm sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.